Yo, Brix5D here with a champion guide for Dark Kael. This is a dark version of this epic champion who came out a while ago in the game after Elhain, Atel, and even Gaelic has their dark version. So this is the dark version of this champion, and some might say he is the best out of 4 of them. Just like the rare version of Kael, they say is the best version of 4 of them. So he is one of the best, and it's not quite easy to obtain this one. You can only get 1 copy of him, and is only obtainable from beating the Doom Tower secret rooms. I forget which particular stage, but once you get enough fragments of this champion, you can summon him and he will join your team from the Dark Elves. And this champion is crazy good. Take note, do not use him as food ever. Even if you don't like him, keep him in the vault. You can never pull this champion from any sacred shards, ancient shard or anything. You can only get 1 copy of him. That makes him very, very special. All right, so what does it bring to the team? I'll just direct your attention to the A1. This is what I use this champion for the most, his A1. Why? It doesn't do anything much than explode poison. It instantly activates 2 poison debuffs or 1 poison debuff on a HP burn debuff that the enemy has on them. So it's either gonna go for 2 poisons or HP burn. So maybe you don't want HP burn on the enemies, just go with 2 poisons and he's just gonna activate it and explode them. He doesn't have to wait for the enemies to have their turn before the poison ticks. That's what it means. He also lands poison sensitivity on his own. I also lands poison also on this skill. He has a 3 poisons, not just 2. 3 poison debuffs for 2 entire turns, and poison sensitivity debuff also to go along with it. Poison sensitivity makes the poison ticks for a much more amount of damage than they normally would, just like Frozen Banshee has, or other champions do have it on their skill too. He lands it at the same time that is landing this poison. So it's not quite fair when people try to compare him with other poison damage dealers like Occult Brawler and all that. He is far superior in some ways though. It also has this A2 skill which will hit everybody. He has a decreased attack. That's 2 debuffs right there, or 3 debuffs that you need in Clan Boss. That's the #1 content that most early game players will use this champion for, because yes, if you get this champion, you're probably just moving from early game moving to that end game journey. So that's the blinding darkness A2 that will do a decreased attack AoE for 2 turns on all the enemies. It also has a chance of increasing the duration of all debuffs, not just the poisons, but it will increase defense. Decrease defense, weaken anything that the enemies have on them in terms of debuffs. It will increase it by 1 turn. So AoE, increased duration of poisons, increased duration of decreased attack, and everything on the enemies. That makes him very, very good in the Clan Boss. He also has a passive that decreases the crit rate of enemies under 2 or more poisons by 15%. Most bosses in Raid Shadow Legends already have a maximum crit rate of 15%. So if they have 2 poisons on them, they will not be hitting all your allies too hard, because they are not critting, they're just doing normal hit, which is a good thing. So that's a way to mitigate damage that you're supposed to be taking. That's the awesome design for Dark Kael. He looks exactly like his rare copy, and then we're not even going to talk about the ultimate version. So that's Dark Kael. Let me go over to some content where I'm going to show you how I built him and test him out in content, including one dungeon run or even Clan Boss run. This is where it says his name right here. Dark Kael, the following champions cannot be summoned from any shards. So do not use this champion as food, because you cannot obtain him. He's not just the only one. This entire list right here of champions obtainable from the Doom Tower are usually not summoned from shards. Very, very special set of champions, and they have unique set of abilities that you can only find on one or few champions. Now, for early game players, how would you build this champion? If you're just getting him, I would suggest you just go lifesteal. You cannot go wrong with a lifesteal set on a champion who needs to keep himself alive in the Clan Boss, in the dungeons, or even in faction wars. Yes, he's an MVP in faction wars. So these are the early game build you can use on this champion. You can see from his A1, A2, and A3 all need accuracy. So if you cannot meet the accuracy requirement, what are you doing? Simply go towards the accuracy right here, or perception. Those are the best sets for early game players who do not yet have a good way of putting lifesteal on him to keep himself alive. Go perception, go accuracy set, keep his accuracy to the minimum required for the stage you're trying to beat. And I'd make sure my accuracy met the requirement to beat Ultra Nightmare or even Nightmare Clan Boss, because he's useful up to that level. He's not one of those champions you use only in Brutal and forget about him. No, you can use this champion all the way, even to Dungeon 25, even dungeon hard content, is very, very viable. But for those higher level of content, you most likely need a different type of end game build for him, and that's where I came in with my own relentless set on my end game build for my Dark Kael. Now he's no longer in most of my team, but I wanted to put this guide out there for those players who are just obtaining him and want to see how you can build him for the end game. Relentless sets is the way to go. Why? Because the more A1s he does, the more poisons he explodes before the enemies will get it on. So that's the best set for endgame for him. Makes him take numerous stuns to multiply, use that A1 repeatedly. So that's good on this champion. Now for the A2 and A3, I usually turn it off. Most content, I will turn that A2 and A3 off, especially if I have somebody else placing the poisons for him or somebody else increasing the duration of the poison. I'll test it out in battle so you can see. All right, that's this build for this champion. I went for speed, crit rate, crit damage. Yes, if you can sneak in crit damage, go ahead. But if you can't, focus on accuracy. I was able to hit. Even attack stats on him, I went above the 3000 mark. That is good for an attack-based damage dealer. And of course, you want to go accuracy set, accuracy banner, I mean, on the banner. But I went with HP because I didn't need 300 accuracy. I just need 250, 240 accuracy around that range. Crit damage on the amulet and on the ring, attack, not HP or defense. If you're not having enough survivor stats, you want to go HP or defense on the ring always. This revenge ring will make this champion retaliate, 5% chance though of retaliating when he's hit. So that's a counter attack on the ring. If you have 3 good set of this, you want to go on the bottom row, revenge, revenge, revenge. So you can use that A1 like a madman. Now, sometimes he doesn't have enough poisons out there for him, so it seems like he's exploding the poisons before too much. Sometimes you don't even have 0 poisons on the enemies, which is not good for that passive, by the way. So you want somebody with this champion that can place more poisons while he's out there activating it. So that's the way to go. Even a frozen banshee can be used with this champion. Okor Bowler, Toragri the Frog, any poisoner, Xavier, bring it on. He will pair well with them and take down the enemies faster. Now for his masteries, this is how I went for the masteries. A normal clan boss masteries that is looking for a little bit of accuracy on the support 3 and the offense 3. Since he's a champion that has triple hits on that A1, he'll benefit from the Giant Slayer mastery. You cannot go wrong with any champion that has multiple hit, 3 hits and above on that A1. They always want to go with Giant Slayer. He's one of those champions. This also makes him a viable option for the Fire Knights, where if you pair him up with other champions who are hitting that Fire Knight shield, he can take it down faster, right? Even with your ally attack champions, he can be using his A1 to take down the Fire Knight down with his A1s right there. All right, for his blessings, since I'm going to be using this champion in the clan boss, in the dungeons and other places, you can have this blessing that decreases the defense of the enemy a little bit. So that's the blessing that I would recommend on the Dark Kael. And if you do not want to use him for that content, or somebody else is already doing this for your team, you cannot go wrong with commanding presence for other, boosting the aura of your other allies in the team. So that's the 2 recommendations. If you have any other options, you can let me know in the comments below. What other artifact sets are you using on your Dark Kael? Are you going triple sets on perception? Are you going triple accuracy sets? Or are you going the end game build of Relentless? It's time for us to test him out in content so you can see a good feel of how he works in battle, a live battle test, and at the end I'll run a clan boss test so you can watch what he does there. I can't do a Dark Kael build video without putting out a clan boss run. Normally I don't put a clan boss run because the same way he works in dungeons is the same way he's gonna work everywhere. But let's just check out his skills and see what he does in Dragon 20 for the test. I put together this sample team. Where is the team? Right here. This is the team, but I think I have another Dark Kael team. There it is. Ice Golem 20, Ice Golem team. So that's it. Dark Kael is in this team. Dark Kael is also in this team. A lot of poisoners in this team, and he's here activating it. Let me test out this team. I know it says Fire Knight, but you can use this one for Ice Golem. You can use this one for Fire Knight. Let's test this in Dragon so you can see how it works. I'll put it on slow speed. I'm starting this out with Cavalax, who has already placed 4 poisons. So in this case, I don't need Dark Kael to use his A1s. Or I mean, I don't need him to use his A3. I don't need him to use any other skills. I can bring in a Xavier right here to explode the poisons, but I just wanted to see what that Kael's damage will be like in this battle test. She's also placing poison sensitivity, which is not needed, but okay. Now, is he his turn? No, this is still Badel's turn. That's a lot of poisons. Do I even have decreased defense out there? I do. All right, let's see how much damage that Kael can do on his A1. Let's test out the A1 first of all. I know they are asleep. Let me test out on this champion. He's on slow speed. That's 17, 17, 19, 17. How many times did you see that? He just exploded 2 poisons plus other crit rate and crit damage that he was doing on that enemy. And that enemy just exploded to nowhere. Let me just run this one all the way to the end and see how he's going to do against the boss. That's where you see his real ability. Let's go a little faster. And we're going straight to the boss to see what that Kael can do over there. He's still exploding people in this team. All right, let's go to wave 2. I just brought up a lot of poisoners. Normally on these waves, I bring in a Xavier and to explode, but I just wanted to see him increasing the duration of all the poisons. Eleanor is one champion that benefits so much from this ability. When poisons on or debuffs on enemies like this are increased, Eleanor does a lot more damage. So that's a champion that can pair with him for wave clear if you don't have a Xavier. So that's also an option. Hope I don't get nuked. All right, it's time for the boss. We don't even need an allure for this boss, but that's a Fire Knight team. I want to see what that Kael can do against this boss. He makes this run so fast. All right, it's your turn to shine. I'm going in with the A1. When you have other people placing poisons on the boss, you don't need him using his A2 or A3. Just go in with the A1 and start doing damage. So let's put it on slow speed again and see how much damage you can do to the dragon. 13, 13, 13, 14, 13. That's a lot of poison. See how much HP right here the boss has left. That's a lot of poison that has been exploded. Remember that when the boss eventually gets his own turn, the remaining poisons will still be activated. So that's what is good about this champion. But the entire battle, you might not have enough poisons. That's the bad part. But we have others placing more poisons for us. 2x speed. He's still using his A1. And we have our blessing ticking, decreasing the defense of the boss even further. What will he use right now? A1 again, I think. That's it. Again, Relentless Set procs. It just makes him use that A1 2, 3 times, 4 times sometimes, if you're that lucky enough to have Relentless Set proccing extra turns. You see what's happening? He just uses A1 again and again. That is why Relentless Set is good on this champion. So I don't know, do we need to test them in the Fire Knight, because it's almost the same thing that runs right here, but it's a little bit different for the Fire Knight, because that Fire Knight will be a problem if you don't have somebody, you know, placing decreased attack out there, and that Kael comes along in the team with decreased attack. I'll test him out in this faster team so we don't spend too much time on the wave and get straight to the boss and see how much we can do on that boss. 20. Is it 20? I hope. We're not that worried about this wave. We just want to get through them. He's taking extra turns and extra turns. I love him in a Relentless Set. I'm just bringing block damage right here just in case the boss gets a turn, or if you're using this champion or this team on a higher level of 25, you'll need some security or revive in case somebody goes down on your team. Oh, we don't have decreased defense or weaken out there. He's gonna start the battle. Now, if you put it on auto, he will place these poisons on the side arts. But I probably want these poisons on the boss himself. Poison sensitivity and 3 poisons. So with this, I turned off Xavier to not do her poison explosion. She's in this team. She's not going to use her poison explosion. She can begin to hit the side arts or even increase the duration of those poisons that we just placed. So let me put it back on auto and see what that Kael will do for us in this team. We are fully protected. That's decreased attack on the boss. That means the boss will hit us less. And of course, 15% crit rate has been removed from this boss also, so we are not worried about his damage at all. Even with the 2 side arts, I think we can survive his damage. Alright, it's time for us to see this A1 stick. When the side arts are down, it's time for this A1 to start going crazy on Dark Kael. He just used it again on this side art. The last run will be of the clan boss. Let's see how it performs in that content. He's about to revive them. Denied. That's why we brought in a block revive champion right here. Lydia, MVP for that content. I'm waiting for the A1s from Dark Kael. He's still trying to place the poisons. You don't need more poisons. He just uses is it A2 or A3 instead of the A1s. If you do not set it in the team presets, he will begin to use any of his skills. Even if there are enough debuffs on the enemy, he was still trying to use it. Increase his duration. He just uses other skill. Where is the A1's Dark Kael? We're taking no damage with the help of Helicat. Alright, I want to see the A1s now. Finally! 35k I see on one of the damage. But we are not worried. We're taking down the boss now. Alright, 2x speed. You see what it can do for you? No other person doing much damage in this team besides him. He is the main damage dealer. He is the main source. We just need somebody else to be landing poisons and then we are good to go. Decrease attack, poisons, and that's how we took down this boss. The boss took his own turn sometimes and activated the boss poison on himself. That's the A1 ending it for us. The last run will be the clan boss, like I said, and I put together a special team for that content. This is an early game build, but I also put an end game option for those who want to use him in nightmare or higher versions. You need like a block damage or something. But if you're new to raid, you're just building your first clan boss team, this is one that I think a lot of people might be able to do. If I move myself out of the screen a little bit, you can see it right here on the corner. So this seems like an early game build with your Sepulchre Sentinel, your Razin, which most people might have at that time, and then Toragri Frog and this counter attack champion go crazy with double ally protection that they do. And then the main damage dealing source, Dark Kael. I might not run it all the way to the end. I just want to have an idea of how that team works. And then for the end game team that I was talking about, it might look something like this. One of those block damage team, whether it's Demeter, whether it's Helicat, Painkeeper, anybody that can keep your damage dealer alive. In this case, the damage dealer will be either Farrakhan the Fat going along with a Dark Kael or Dark Kael going along with Xavier. I still don't have somebody else to place to block the stun or anything to cleanse it. That might be a position right here. So check out other content creators or even Deadwood Jedi website for options like that for block damage team. Then when they say bring in a DPS champion, you bring in Dark Kael. So that's the option right here. Even if you don't have a weakened champion, he can just be okay with Farrakhan the Fat doing decreased defense, or what's his name now? This Vizier doing increasing the duration of the poison. And that's the team I want to test out, not that early beginner team. I want to see Vizier increase the duration of the poison and Dark Kael only using his A1. Yes, since if we have block damage right here, we don't need to worry about taking too much damage. You can see his setup right here will be to turn off this skill, to turn off this skill, and then only use his A1. Now he still needs to use it manually once in battle. So once the battle starts, turn off quick battle. I need to use it once by placing the poison and then put it on auto. So I'm not gonna even use, where is my decrease defense? Where is it? Decrease defense. Yes. And we don't care what skill is used right here. So I'm going to use the A3 to land all the debuffs we need. This is everything we need in this team. Where did Weaken come from? Did he also land Weaken? I didn't take note of that. So this team has Weaken. I didn't notice. Now Vizier is only going to use his A1. I forgot to turn this off. You don't want him to use all these other skills at all. No, you just want him using his 1, 2, 3. So this increases the duration of debuffs on the enemy. Did he even do it? I didn't notice. And then Dark Kael can now begin to go to town and increase it. I don't think it has happened yet. Let me just go along to my skill again and see what happens. We want all these debuffs on the enemy to be filled up before we begin to put it on auto. Do we need this? We don't even need decrease attack, but okay. It increased the duration of the debuffs. He just exploded it because it has an extra turn. Yes, Relentless Set can work in this team. Let's make sure the debuffs is not falling off though. Farrakhan the Fat taking extra turns. I want to make sure Vizier is using the right skill. I think it's this skill. Applies debuff spread, places perfect veil. No, it's the A1. Each hit has a 35% chance of increasing the duration of all debuffs by 1 turn. So maybe I didn't see it happen. Okay, now I see what's happening. It's actually a weak affinity against this particular boss. So that's why Vizier is not increasing the duration. Vizier is, I think, force affinity, while this boss is spirit affinity. That's why it's not happening. But you get the theme. Vizier increases the duration of all those debuffs, and then what's it called? Dark Kael just keep using his A1 repeatedly and no other skill. So that's how a team like that might go if you guys are interested in it. If you want help with this champion team description and every other thing you can use with him in dungeons, you can hop onto the Discord and we'll build a team for you based on the type of champions you have. You might not have these exact ones. Always ready to help. How would you build your Dark Kael and where do you use him in 2023 and beyond? He's still being used in my faction war and maybe some special Dark Elf teams in dungeons sometimes. That's how I use him. And that's his champion. Spotlight for this champion who nobody talks about anymore because a lot of other legendaries have overtaken what he does, but he's still very, very viable in content everywhere to explode poisons, to land poison, and have somebody extending the duration while he just uses his A1. That's the best part about him. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Comment below which champion you want me to take a look at next, and I'll do that in the next video. Later, guys.